guys, welcome to Up The Boro. This is going to be my first YouTube video on my channel. This is basically going to be all about Middlesbrough transfer rumours, previews. Obviously it's the end of the season now, but we'll be doing reviews on games and all the gossip really to do with Middlesbrough. In today's video we're going to be talking about who's going to be leaving Middlesbrough at the end of the season, as we played our last game on Monday against Norwich and we lost. So we won't be going up to the Premier League, but there's going to be a big clear out for Middlesbrough players, especially with loan players going back, and the likes of Bamford, who has returned to Chelsea, Omer, who's returned to Chelsea, Dean Whitehead's left, there's Ryan Fredericks gone back to Tottenham, so we'll be talking about them players and how they impacted on the Middlesbrough this season. I'm just going to start with Bamford. Obviously, got Championship Player of the Year, and I think he's one of the contenders for Young Player of the Year across the Football League. I thought, from what I saw of him, he scored goals, but I didn't really rate him as highly as I think other Middlesbrough fans did, because for me he didn't contribute anything apart from, he did score 19 goals I think it was, but really he didn't do. People like Tomlin, they were creating all the chances for him, and all of Bamford's goals were tap-ins really. Moving on to Omeru, he had a brilliant World Cup last summer with Nigeria, and I think he was the captain or vice-captain in some of the games. He had a brilliant tournament, and really last season he had a brilliant last season as well. But this season he hasn't really played as much as he would have hoped, I don't think, because he's had a couple of injuries and he's never really got back into the team ahead of Ayala and Gibson, who have been fantastic this season. We've got the best defence in the league, and that just shows for itself. And I think Omer isn't the most disciplined of players. He goes in for tackles a bit quick and makes stupid fouls sometimes, but he has been a brilliant player over the past couple of seasons for Middlesbrough, so it'll be sad to see him go as well. But again, I don't think he'll be missed too much, especially as he didn't play too much this season really. So one of the latest players to leave is Dean Whitehead. He's been at the club for 3 years and has contributed loads to the team. He plays in the same way as we now have Clayton and Ledbetter. I couldn't really see him getting in instead of them two, although I did think Ledbetter didn't have the best of games in the player final, and Clayton didn't really notice him either. Thought we got demolished in the centre midfield. So what we could have done with Whitehead there, but he was playing right back at the time, which seemed a bit weird as we had Fredericks on the bench. And I don't think Whitehead's ever a right back. But it'll be sad to see him go, because he's been at the club for 3 years, and we've progressed from becoming 15th in the league, and then Karanka took over, finished 12th last season, and we'll finish 4th this season. And it'll be nice to see him, if we get promoted next season, to see that progression from finishing quite low in the Championship to building a strong team and getting into the Premier League. So he's a bit unfortunate, but I don't think he wanted to stay, because he wanted a new challenge, and playing in the Championship for 3 years when I think he is a Premier League player. He's always going to favour the Premier League. The last player in this video that I'll be reviewing is Jelle Vossen. He's had a brilliant second half of the season, and he's probably one of my favourite Middlesbrough players. He has said that he may be coming back. I think he's getting married on Saturday, and he's going to make his decision whether to come back if Middlesbrough want him after then. But I'd love him back at Middlesbrough. I think he scored 9 goals in the second half of the season. One was his first goal for Middlesbrough, was a fantastic strike against Millwall. It was about 4 months into his Middlesbrough career, but he hadn't really played too many games since then. And his work ethic for the team is fantastic. His quality you can see when he touches the ball, and how he gets other players into the game as well, like Sir Tomlin and Whitehead and Clayton. He gets them into the game. And it'll be sad to see him go, but I hope he's back at the Boro next season, and I think he'll be able to help us get promoted as well.